Hi everybody and welcome back to the channel. As promised, I've moved off from the Harley and now looking at the Japanese bikes. You've probably seen a little video on the Kawasaki already, but now I need to look at the RD. Not looking at the engine this time, I'm looking at the rear end. Very nice rear end it is too. The problem that I've got is there seems to be some mechanical drag here on this back wheel, almost as if the brakes are binding, or a bearing is seizing, or the chain needs lubing. Let me show you what I mean. If I get a good hard grip of the wheel, you see how it slows down so quickly? Let's do the same with the Kawasaki for reference. You see that's running much more freely. So there's something binding this rear wheel, and I think that is obviously taking away performance. I don't know what it is, but I'll start with the brakes, look at the chain, maybe slacken off the spindle. Is something over tight? Not sure that you can actually over tighten these. Let's have a look. So I've just taken the tension out of the spindle, and that's made no difference. I'm pretty sure you can't over tighten these. So next job, I'll take off the brake caliper and see if that's the brakes causing the binding. Okay, so it's just a couple of 18mm nuts to come off. Takes the caliper off. Yeah, I think we found a problem. The brakes are slightly binding. Okay, let's clean up the caliper. So I just unbolted the hydraulic hose that goes to the brake caliper, which means that the caliper is now free and away from the bike. We've got the caliper on the workbench, taking out the pads, and then we're just going to separate the caliper into its two halves. Take out that bolt there. There's two Allens there. Get access to the pistons and just see if they all need a clean up. Now these are quite new brake pads, so they're quite thick. I don't want to do any bodging, like shaving them off or anything like that just at the moment. So I've got the caliper apart. You have to take out these two Allens, this bolt, and also in my case the other bolt that is the clamp to the bracket on the bike itself. One came out and one stayed in. So it's looking a bit grubby and a little bit corroded. So I'm going to give those a clean up. I'll probably put the sonic bath into action and give these pistons a clean up and see what we come out with. Just be careful of this little rubber seal here. I don't have a spare, so I really want to keep that. Okay, let's see how they clean up. A quick check of the manual shows that they are twin piston. I did have my doubts because this one is very recessed. And this one is starting to come out. I'm using the compressed air trick, although I've only got a small sort of tyre inflator quality kind of compressor, but it is moving it slowly. At the moment I'm leaving them soaking in WD-40. This one is bearing scars of previous attempts to get it out. It looks like it's had a good whack with a screwdriver here at some time in the past, and also over here. I'm going to try and avoid doing that. In the meantime, going back to the bike, whilst we do have an improvement in the rolling of the wheel, I am going to just degrease the chain and re-lube it. There's the first piston out. It came out with the air pressure. I was at about 8 bar, and it came out with a thunderous bang. The piston shot up in the air. It must have been, well, 12 feet or so. I was doing it over here on the windowsill because there's a power point there for the compressor, and I stuck my head inside the window frame there, and the piston came down and walloped me on the back. That high pressure air can really make this thing fly. There you go, guys. That's where the piston hit me on the back. That's my t-shirt you're looking at. Be careful. Here's the second piston out. I was a lot more careful with this one. I didn't keep the air pressure on a constant on. I just and it did come out. It did come out with a bit of a pop, but I had my hand over it, and it came out quite gently. What I did find though is that obviously this is the input for the hydraulic fluid, the brake fluid, and a lot of the compressed air was just coming straight out of there. So I just put this bolt in a couple of turns just to give it a chance to build up a bit more pressure inside here, and that seemed to work a treat. So now it's just a question of cleaning everything up. So there's everything in the sonic bath. Temperature is climbing slowly, but I'm not going to waste any time. I'm going to stick that in for 20 minutes and go and have a cup of tea. Okay, so everything's out of the sonic bath now and all looking nice and clean. I've just been around the inside of the calipers and the outside of the pistons with a little bit of brake fluid, just cleaning it all off. The reason I did it in the sonic bath is that firstly, I didn't want to use anything abrasive at all anywhere on the brakes. These are very, very fine tolerances here. And second of all, I'm doing this and I haven't got a replacement set of seals. Clever, isn't it? So I wanted to do as little intrusive damage as possible. I have done a quick test. I reassembled the pistons into the calipers, gave them just a hint of compressed air, and they pop straight out. So whereas before we were at 8 bar and the thing shot 12 foot in the air, now just the slightest whiff of air and they're coming out. So I'm happy that they are clean and operating normally. So I shall start to reassemble. A little bit of brake fluid just to lubricate this. This is just for the purposes of the film, really. I'm going to do a better job in a sec. A little bit of brake fluid on here. And then what I'll do is use a large socket to go in there, and then just press the piston and the caliper back together again. Everything has been dried, cleaned, wiped down or blown through with the air gun. So now we're just going to reassemble the calipers, give them a lick of paint. Cheeky cup of tea. And there we go. I've given the caliper a quick coat of enamel engine paint, tidying it up. Everything is down to the usual specification of good and tight. And what do we think? It's still not great, is it? I mean, the caliper has not even been connected to the hydraulics yet. Is this the way RDs are? Don't know. Well, I was hoping for better, to be honest. Okay, so everything's back together. I bled the brakes, or the back brake. Didn't bother videoing that. I'm sure you've done it before. I'm not sure that's a whole lot better than it was before I started, to be honest. I mean, the only thing I've done really positively is change the brake fluid, cleaned out the calipers, got them pistons working nicely, so the rear brake should be better. And I adjusted up here and here. stop and the... But in terms of the freedom of movement, I mean, is that normal for an RD? I mean, you guys have got more experience. You let me know. A bit of brake fluid. Okay, well, I'll take it out for a run. Thanks so much for watching. Please like, subscribe, share, and I'll see you in the next one.